What's good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward, what's going on with other factors following the markets, what you should be watching for as time progresses for Tesla, as we have very important pieces of news that just came out. But before we continue doubles information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. And the offer ends very soon in just about 1 day from now. Anyways, for Tesla, I just want to say that Tesla's been on a bit of a downtrend after getting this double top like structure. We've been dipping quite a bit into this 180 support. And right now, Tesla's still kind of struggling here, still kind of testing this. So we want you to see if we try to base here and get a bounce or not. And I'll talk about some very key levels for Tesla, SPY, and the overall market for this pre-market session. But I first want to talk about some data. So please know, guys, we're going to have a very, very big move coming out today at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the S&P the S&P Global Composite PMI, Manufacturing and Services PMI data. So watch for volatility for the first 15 minutes and wait and see what this leads to. If the market's pumping really hard, we will see if it continues to pump like crazy. If the market starts to dip a bit and then this data comes out, we will see if we get a big rug pull. We will have to just wait and see. This data is going to be very key. It's going to be very important for these different sectors of the economy as well. Now, I also want to call out that the S&P 500 did pass the 5,500 level for the first time on Thursday before we got this little pullback. That's actually very important news, at least for the way the market's moving. There's been a lot of talk about new AI technology that's making up a lot of talk as of right now. As we're starting to see some more competitors of ChatGPT emerging, the world of AI is continuing to develop very, very quickly. Besides that, I don't see anything else that's too significant for the main headlines of the market. For Tesla, on the other hand, we have some big news coming out that Tesla is ramping up its electric semi-truck production for PepsiCo. In fact, the other day I actually saw a Tesla Semi. It was actually very, very cool looking. It looked very futuristic, very, very powerful, if anything. And seeing them ramping this up is actually just more good news for them because this will help them improve the fleet and do a lot of other very, very useful things. So cool stuff, at least for Tesla. There's also news right over here that the supplier is disrupting the Tesla charging adapter shipments to the Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 and Lightning orders. That's something that's very, very important because with these adapters, some customers have crashed the order system when Ford announced it would provide free Tesla charging adapters. And then when the supply is constrained, this is what Ford was saying, sales are up and customers continue to reserve their complimentary adapters so they keep getting reservations. So we had some more news that came out. When it comes to the Mach-E and such, they're getting a lot of great sales and such, but this adapter change is going to, once again, lead to a big difference right over here. It's going to more than double the number of fast chargers available to Ford EV drivers nationwide. And Tesla owns and operates the largest amount of these superchargers. But once again, there is going to be some news coming out that Ford is going to continue to ship out the complimentary fast charging adapters to in order for reservations to be received. And with that happening, they're still going to have access to all the Tesla superchargers and such, at least for the time being. But the first thing that we have to be looking for is the fact that there's a lot of different EV companies that are still trying to share these adapters with Tesla. And sometimes hearing about some delays here and there would be completely normal, at least when they're trying to get all these shipments out there. So that's something that's worth noting. I've seen some headlines about that. There's also some news coming out that Barclay remains cautious on Tesla stock. They're saying this as a result of the way Tesla has been moving. They have an equal weight rating, at least for Tesla, saying that their price target's 180. They're saying that Tesla already reached their price targets, and they're going to be waiting to see what happens with their deliveries. They're not as optimistic about deliveries for the short term, but they are very optimistic long term. So they still have a very, very cautious stance on Tesla, and they're warning investors to be careful. Anyways, guys, that's it for the main headlines. Let's talk about the stocks right now. For Tesla, you guys can see we're trying to base at this 180 area. If we lose 180, I'll be looking for 178, all the way down to where this imbalance happens to be. And we have resistance all the way up here around 183. If we break this, I'll be looking for 185. Otherwise, we're just kind of stuck between 183 and 180. We're going to likely continue to trade sideways right over here. But I do see an attempt to push on Tesla upon open. I think it's going to try to push a little higher and watch to see if we get a rejection or not. And I think for now, we just have this range to watch. Trading Tesla is very simple. If we break that resistance at 183, we'll be looking for a push. And if we get that rug pull, we'll be looking for a big drop. Don't forget, we have lots of options expiring today because of quadruple witching. So we'll see what this leads to for Tesla. But I need to see if Tesla could hold 180. We got to hold this. We're just barely at this level. So I think we're going to shuffle a bit, look for a little pop up on open and some sideways price action, and then watch and see what Tesla's reaction is once we get the PMI data report 15 minutes after the market opens. That's going to be pivotal for the share price. For SPY kind of gapped down a bit. It is possible we try to rebound a bit to fill this gap. But like I said in my earlier video, just be careful because even if SPY does attempt to rebound just a bit, we could still reject and continue to make our way down lower later on. So to me, it looks like SPY will eventually test 543 around this area, 542 to 544. And I think that we will eventually break down lower. But here's the big but. We'll see if we get a little pop first and then we drop, or if we just drop like very, very close to where we are. I'm anticipating it's going to try to push a little higher, try to fill this gap, and then make its way back down. I think we'll be watching for a little pop back down to either 546 to 547 and then make our move back down after that. But like I said in my earlier video from yesterday, we need a follow through move. So we're already gapping down. If we establish a lower high, like get a little pop to 546 to 547, that's our lower high, and then we just continue to fall. That is confluence. That's another confluence that the market is once again kind of turning back down. So that there is a risk of that happening, in my opinion. Same thing with the QQQ. We're actually kind of flat in the after hours, but we're going to be looking for this little push right over here around this 482.6 area. That's close to where our 50 EMA happens to be. So we might look for a little pop, and we'll see if we get a rejection, start dropping all the way back down towards 478. So a pop and drop is very probable as well. For Nvda, in my opinion, is also looking kind of weak. We got to try to reclaim 130. If we fail to do so, I do see it tipping even lower. And our next target is going to be 125 if we end up failing. So look for an attempt to get back up to 130. If we fail to do so, I just see us going straight down to 125. And if that fails, we could go all the way down to some balance towards the 122s. So I'm seeing some weakness on Nvidia, a risk of more downside. I'll be watching this very carefully. Bitcoin has lost to 64,000 supports on the downtrend. I've been saying this for a while, and we're continuing to fall. Bitcoin may retest 64,380 and then continue to fall from here and get closer to 62,500. That's a potential target for now. I see more downside potential. For Aapl is also showing some weakness. If you look at the charts, we're on a bit of a downtrend right here. We are attempting to rebound, like I said yesterday. I did predict that this would happen, but watch resistance as we get close to about 212. We might retest 212. If we reject, we'll be tipping all the way down to 206 eventually. If we break 212, we could push higher, but I do see a little pop and drop as a very probable move for more potential downside. For a few more tickers, we also have the IWM Russell 2000 trading kind of sideways right here. We have 200 as resistance, and if that breaks, we have 202. It might push a little bit higher, then eventually make its way back down. We have this imbalance to fill down to 198. So I think I'm seeing a weakness on the IWM. Look for a pop and drop. For a few more, let's just go over this. Coinbase is looking weak right now. We did call out more downside yesterday. That's what we're seeing. And I think that this could actually continue all the way down to 222 if we fail to get back above 230. For Amazon, we're still forming kind of like a cup and handle like structure. So we have the cup still forming. Could go a little higher to 187, the 187.5 area. So it might push a little higher, but then watch and see if we end up forming a cup and handle. That's going to be like the main pattern. If we do retrace, I'll be looking at our 20 EMA 185 after the handle starts to form. So look for a push to 187 to 187.5 as the cup. And the handle is going to form. We're going to continue to push after that. For Meta is kind of trading sideways right here. We basically have this 502 areas resistance, and we have support at 500 and 496. We're kind of stuck in the middle. I do see a little upside potential coming for Meta before it tries to make any other moves, so I'll be watching for that. For Microsoft, we basically have resistance all the way up here around 447.5. We have support all the way down here at 445. Kind of stuck in the middle. We are on a bit of an uptrend though, so I think we could push a little higher. At least for now, it's building some strength, but then watch resistance as we get up to 448. I'll do Google, then just a few more, and I'll be done with this video. Google is trying to push a little bit higher. You're going to be looking for resistance around 178. If that breaks, I could be looking for 178.8 as well. But even if we do go a little higher, just be careful considering there's a head and shoulders like structure. So we're still kind of range bound. To be bullish, I want to see it break and close above 180. To be bearish, I want to see it lose 176. We're still in the middle between that range, so give it some time. GameStop is building somewhat of a base over here. Going to be looking for a push towards 27. If we break 25.5, I'll be looking for 27. So I see potential for a bounce here. So we'll see if we end up getting that. And AMC has something very similar going on. If we break past 4.86, then I think we're going to be going up to about 5. Otherwise, we just shuffle for now, so there's not much going on. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. As far as Tesla goes, we're kind of stuck in the middle. Look for a little pop up on open, then a dip back down, and sideways price action between our EMAs. But there's a big but. We'll see what the big data leads to with the PMI report coming out, and we'll be very patient in the process. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys very soon in a few hours, and peace out.